Now, barely 2 hours after the Julius Abure-led faction of the Labour Party gave its presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, a 48-hour marching order to resign from the party, the Senator Nenadi Usman faction of the party, in a counter statement, said there is no such directive given to Obi to resign. Now, recall that the factional national publicity secretary of the party, Obiora Ifo, had in a statement on Thursday said the ultimatum was given following Obi's involvement in the coalition of political parties seeking to defeat the ruling All Progressives Congress, that's the APC, in the 2027 election. Now, in his counter statement shortly after, Ken Eluma Asogwa, the senior special advisor media to the acting national chairman of the Labour Party, Nenadi Usman, said the statement from the Abure faction was misleading because the party has permitted Obi to engage in the coalition talks. Well, joining me now as we take a look at the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and the ADC coalition platform is Peter Ame, Labour Party chieftain and Peter Obi's close ally. Thank you very much for joining us on Newsnight. First, let's get it clear. Are you, Peter Ame, still a member of the Labour Party? Is Peter Obi, your presidential candidate in the 2023 election, still a member of the Labour Party as we speak? Where do things really stand?
It's very clear. There's no any public statement.
It's not
anyway.
clear.
It's
That's
clear.
why I'm
It's clear because
question.
even at the Supreme Court level, it was there between Fubara and Martin Mewule. It was decided that you must be found on the register of a political party before you say you are the member. You must be a card-carrying member of a political party before they say you are a member. So it is clear that these things had not happened, and the one that happened last at the period at which His Excellency Peter Obi joined the Labour Party. I've been a Labour Party member for a very long time, and I have not relinquished that membership, and there's no public statement anywhere that I have relinquished that membership, except it's dotted. But the fact is that every time you have a discussion around trying to form a formidable opposition, while you try to discuss with other people, you can't have this discussion without having some level of progress collectively.
Yeah, but these conversations or discussions, as you call them, are they with the clear mandate of the Labour Party?
We have crossed that Rubicon a long time ago.
Okay.
Another Usman had already spoken about this several times.
Right. So you are part of the coalition.
Well, of course, we are part of the coalition.
And Peter Obi,
to make sure that
why has Peter Obi not clearly come out to say he's left the Labour Party for the coalition, as other party members, people like Malami of APC, left the APC. Amechi has left the APC, declaring for the same ADC coalition. Why has Peter Obi or yourself not done that?
Atiku is still a member of the PDP. Erufai is still a member of the SDP. The fact is, you don't want to understand the panic. Don't take the narrative of the APC that is panicking. Please, let's leave that aside. They are trying to create a narrative that doesn't exist. What exists
what's
today?
the correct narrative?
What exists today is that principal leaders from different political platforms have decided to form a formidable political structure that will be able to, defeat the APC come 2027. And it was clearly stated in the understanding that they had that this coalition that we are selecting ADC for is for 2027 election. Because they are members of other political parties that have by-elections, that have elections up to Anambra in November this year. So these are issues that were clearly outlined in the meeting of the coalition leaders. I was agreed upon. It's not something anybody is doing that is cutting hand. Belongs to your party. This is not the first time the alliances and coalitions is being formed in this
Absolutely,
country.
but it's looking like deja vu. To
see,
Nigerians. In 2013, 2014, Nigerians were exactly where we are now, where there's this talk about coalition. The coalition happened, and experts and people who really understand what is going on are saying this coalition seems to be more concerned about, taking over power and not necessarily getting governance right. They're just interested in getting Tinubu out and not even thinking about who exactly do we want to take over from Tinubu.
No, you can't say that. It's not true. If you look at the messages coming from Peter Obi, right from the time he came out to try to contest the election, his messages are very clear. that Nigeria is in the decline state. Nigeria isn't working because we are not a productive nation. And this is a clear message that this is the situation we have been facing, that you have this level of arable land, you have this young, energetic youth population, and yet you can't put them to use. So there's a clear message coming from Peter Obi. Every time he talks about the current economic crisis that we have, and the lack of leadership to be able to give proper direction. And that is what he brings to the table. He has said it about private and public life, that he has done things that are actually stated clearly what the direction of a government should be like.
Right.
So you can't use one stroke of to brush everybody with one brush. The fact remains that when you have a democratic system, that people must judge, or people must align, people must discuss. The only thing I have discovered is that is the panic state of the APC government. That if you look at their rush conclusion to press statements, rush conclusion to try to want to be dismissive of the coalition because they were beaten to their game in an attempt to try to undermine the coalition leaders from having a united front, they felt it was impossible before, but they have achieved their aim, and they are scared of the outcome of what we become. The only mistake the coalition leader will make is to jettison the zoning arrangement, the rotational presidency arrangement you have, the arrangement between the original constitution. People don't understand.
Is there an arrangement on ground right now? And you talk about Peter Obi. I mean, yes, he wants Nigeria to move from a consumer nation to a productive one. But that is if he has his way in 2027 to be on the ballot as the flag bearer. Is that likely to be?
It is likely to be. See, the coalition leaders have a choice before them.
Right.
It will be contested in 2023 without no House of Assembly, no senator, no House of no entrenched political machinery behind him. And you know he scored over 6 million votes. That was recorded for him. What was recorded for him was over 6 million votes. In the South alone, Obi defeated Tinubu by 44.5%. Tinubu got 35.5%. So Obi is leading in the South. In the North, as big as the North, and when people say, oh, Obi can have way into the North, Obi scored 15.2%. While Kwakwaso was scoring about 10%. In the South, Kwakwaso scored 0.46%. So you can't have this kind of, somebody who have this kind of mileage. If you are coming to the coalition today and you say, oh, you don't want to allow the southern region to unite against what you are going to bring, you bring a southern candidate.
But it does look from what you are saying that from your team, you've made up your mind that Peter Obi must be the flag bearer. But this is a coalition where we've been told that all contending interests, should sacrifice for the best man to emerge. Are you coming to the table with a clear mind, with an open mind as to this could just go any way? Not necessarily coming your way.
It's not in every coalition and in every political arrangement. There's always a way to settle these issues. Whether you're having a primaries that is open, or you're having a zone primaries, or you are having a consensus pre-primaries, because you need to do something to also defeat the APC. If the essence is to bring good governance to our people, we can't just go every time and try to go to say we go back to the old ways of doing things and we go to primaries at Igbo Square or wherever we go to and start to insult ourselves. So there must be a way that the leaders must know at this time. This is a critical time for Nigeria. This is a critical time for economic decline to be rescued. So the leaders must understand that if you are going to the South, you need to consider who has the momentum. You want to win an election. You are not going in to try.
Is the momentum still there?
You must put your best foot forward.
Is the momentum still there for Mr. Peter Obi?
See, the reason why today those who control our political system before used to manipulate our elections and get to it's because the media was a restricted space. You either be in Lagos and you try to have how many information can go. Today, there's a liberalization of the media space. There's an open space. You can even get your data from the on social media. You can get from Twitter, where people have Peter Obi alone followership on Twitter is about 5.2 million. So this is a complete center of information that you can get your data. I'm a political scientist. I won't come here. That's why you see I keep on telling you about figures, about data, about, to be able to put it in proper perspective. What is important for the coalition leaders to know. Because you need that momentum, that understanding. Because we are going to be contesting against a man from the South, and there's an unwritten arrangement. What people say, oh, why are you saying there's an unwritten arrangement? Yes. Is there an unwritten arrangement to say a vice president, when a president comes from the South, the vice president must come from the North?
Right.
There's none like that. There's no written arrangement like that. It is an unwritten understanding to keep this country one, to make sure we form a formidable united front as a people. And if that united front exists, we should be able to keep it. The only obstacle that would have been,
yes,
if Peter Obi is not somebody who sacrificed for the good of his people, he's somebody who sacrificed for this. And I say, to keep that arrangement alive, to be able to make sure that the understanding between the South and the North remains, that the general understanding remains, he has agreed to do one thing. And in that 4 years, the intention is to set our financial and political system right. That is what the intention is, because what we have today is that people spend public money without accountability, without transparency, without open governance system. Because before we into
IPAC's Yabagi on the issue of whether Peter Obi will serve one term, is saying he's not too sure that the North will even trust, what Peter Obi is saying, that he will only serve one term.
Yagbaji served after me when I was IPAC chairman. I'm from the North. I'm from Kogi State. Yagbaji can't speak for the entire North. Yagbaji is from Niger. We are both from the North Central. I was IPAC chairman, then he later became after chairman. I was IPAC secretary twice. This is my turf. I've served in this political space. I've practiced in the political space. And for now, we know that this system has changed.
Right.
That is now the electorate that determines the outcome of election.
Okay.
It is no longer this one you say, oh, I have this governor here that will bring 2 million votes. I have this senator here that will bring 1 million votes. No, the people are now young people who are tech survey, who understand the implication of electing a non-performing person.
Peter, I wish we had all night to analyze these issues, but I have to say thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see what becomes of this.
Now, looking at the coalition, I want to agree with what Senator Gino Melayo said at the unveiling of the coalition party, that this party is the unity party of Nigeria. And if this ADC is the unity party of Nigeria, now the acceptance of that party depends on the quality of its leadership. And anyone who must be the presidential flag bearer of ADC must have certain qualifications. It must be a person that is truthful, transparent, and trustworthy. He must be decisive, confident, and able to unite Nigerians. And most importantly, he must be knowledgeable about the Nigerian economy, security, education, and international relations. Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next video.